Studio 31.
Right now at 9, one day away from the start of the NBA Finals, and the Celtics are gearing up to take on the Golden State Warriors.
It's a dream come true.
We're live in San Francisco, where the excitement is building.
Both teams are bringing defensive firepower to the game's biggest stage.
They're not caught up in the moment.
The Celtics 4 wins away from bringing back a title to Boston. We have 19 coverage.
Showers fade away tonight. We'll hold on to the clouds through the day tomorrow.
Then a man convicted in the death of a Boston mother.
We just stand up and screaming because we were waiting for it.
The victim's family emotional outside court.
Also a legal victory for Johnny Depp in his defamation suit against ex-wife Amber Heard, why she's also getting millions of dollars.
Plus an attempted hospital hack.
One of the most despicable cyber attacks I've ever seen, right here in Boston.
Who the FBI says targeted Boston Children's Hospital.
And a scholarship surprise with special send-off for high school seniors in Malden.
7 News at 9 starts now.
We're following breaking news. At least 4 people have been killed by a gunman who opened fire at a hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma. Police say the shooter was also killed.
It was a terrifying scene with first responders racing in and closing off that area. The night team's Keke Vencill is here with the breaking details.
Ryan, Jadiann, according to Tulsa police, multiple people were shot and 4 killed during the shooting at a medical building on a hospital campus in Tulsa. We've also learned tonight the shooter is dead, and now an investigation is fully underway.
Tulsa police calling it a catastrophic scene after a shooter opened fire this evening at a medical building on the St. Francis Hospital campus. Police going floor by floor to evacuate the medical building that houses an outpatient surgery center and a breast health center. Officials have confirmed the shooter has died. Police responded to St. Francis Hospital after receiving a call about a man on campus with a rifle. Dozens of police cars could be seen outside the hospital complex, and authorities shut down surrounding roads. The shooting coming only days after 19 students and 2 teachers were killed in Uvalde, Texas.
And according to a Tulsa city councilor, the gunman was looking for a doctor on the hospital campus. It's unclear how the shooter died or what led up to the deadly assault. A reunification site has been set up for family and friends at a nearby high school. Live in the newsroom, Keke Vencill, 7 News 19.
And stay with the news station for the latest on this breaking story. We'll have updates on the air at WHDH.com and inside the 7 News app.
The night team now to your weather. Let's take a live look over the city of Boston, where we saw some showers out there earlier in the day, and you can still see some clouds sticking around. Those will probably be around until the morning at least. Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Reiner here with that first check of our forecast. JR.
Jadiann, clouds right now. Radar showing very little in the way of rain out of those clouds. Farther to the west, out in the Berkshires, that's where we do have a band of some showers, even a few rumbles of thunder. And they do extend up across New York State. But you notice the trajectory, the movement of these showers to the southeast versus due east. So I think a lot of us will not see showers from that activity out to our west. There may be a couple more showers that drop in from Vermont, but I don't think the radar will be quite as active this evening as it was last evening at this time. For tonight, mainly cloudy, a few showers, and I think the highest chance of the showers will be the farther west you go, back toward Worcester as well as Sturbridge. Temps 55 to 60. For tomorrow, here we are at 11 o'clock tonight, showing the showers fading away. And there may be 1 or 2 left over early tomorrow morning, but I think after 8 a.m., I don't think we have a shower concern. We'll have a lot of clouds through the day tomorrow, but despite the clouds, it should stay dry before another chance of rain arrives tomorrow night. Temps tomorrow morning around 60, tomorrow afternoon 71 inland, low to mid 60s at the coast, including Boston.
Tonight at 9, counting down to tip-off.
Actually living out your dream in real time. It's a real feeling.
A golden opportunity to dethrone a dynasty.
Got a really big task in front of us, but just ready to start, man. You know, ready to play.
The Celtics taking on Curry and Company.
And it's unbelievable. I mean, just to make it to this point and then obviously compete for a championship.
Excitement building for a finals showdown.
Well, the Celtics will open up the NBA Finals in 24 hours at the Chase Center in San Francisco. You can see the NBA Finals logo on display both inside and outside that arena. The C's will take on the Golden State Warriors, a team that's won 3 championships in this last 7 years.
And the players know it'll be a challenge, and they say they are ready for tip-off. The Celtics getting in their final practice today on the court. Will they be playing there tomorrow night? And we have night team coverage from both what teams are saying ahead of the finals to how the Celtics got here after a slow start to the season. Let's start off with sports director Joe Amorosino. He's live in San Francisco with the very latest. Joe.
All right, for the Celtics team with so many young players, many of them in their early 20s, this was a wow moment, actually being here at the NBA Finals, at Media Day, at the Finals, with all that comes along with that. And even Jason Tatum admits he was a little bit in awe of today's experience.
Sometimes you got to pinch yourself, right? I walk in, I see this backdrop, and it's like, damn, I am in the finals.
Jason Tatum and the Celtics have finally arrived to the stage they could only dream of growing up.
Every kid can imagine themselves being in the NBA and being in the finals, but, you know, actually living out your dream in real time is a surreal feeling.
It's a feeling the entire roster is going through, with each player reaching the finals for the first time. But head coach Ime Udoka isn't worried about his team's inexperience.
What's really been good about our group is they're not caught up in the moment. The game sevens, playing on the road, you see our record. And for more so than anything, it's just basketball. At the end of the day, that's what we try to stress, and I think that's the benefit of our group being so young and approaching it that way. Steph Curry is suiting up for his 6th NBA Finals, but don't expect the Warriors star to give any pointers on how to get comfortable.
I'm not going to give it away right now for them. I think some of those guys have had multiple, Eastern Conference Finals appearances and stuff like that, so it's similar, but it obviously is different when you're the last 2 teams and you're feeling 4 wins away from winning a championship.
And after 15 seasons, Al Horford is just glad he'll get to find that out for himself.
It feels great to be here, just still soaking everything in, being here in San Francisco and being in the finals. It's something it's exciting. We're at the point that we want to be, and now we have a great opportunity in front of us.
Along with all the hoopla today, there's actually some news as well. It has everything to do with the Celtics' injured players. We start with Marcus Smart. He's been dealing with the thigh, the foot, and the ankle injury. He is good to go. Ime Udoka says he's not worried about Marcus Smart in the finals. As for Robert Williams, he will continue to be listed as questionable. He's dealing with that surgically repaired knee and swelling and pain in that knee. But again, Williams saying he's good to go for Game 1. We'll watch him throughout the series and see how he sustains playing throughout these could be as many as 7 games. Reporting live in San Francisco at the Chase Center, Joe Amorosino, 7 News Night Team.
It has not been an easy path for this finals here to the Celtics. So they got off to a slow start of the season here. They had to win 2 7 games. And the night team Chelsi McDonald has more from San Francisco.
The Celtics took the hard way to get to the NBA Finals. They swept the Nets, beat the Bucks in 7 games, and then won Game 7 on the Heat's home floor. Very impressive, especially the way the Celtics were able to stifle superstars throughout their postseason run. But the C's have turned the page, and they're ready to compete on the biggest stage here inside the Chase Center for Game 1 of the NBA Finals.
Certain times we was 3 games under 500 and an 11th seed. I'm sure not many people would have thought we would have gotten to this point.
Jason Tatum and the Celtics overcoming a bumpy start to the season to make it to the game's biggest stage, erasing memories of a forgettable first 3 months of the season.
Beginning of this year, every game was like, I don't know if we're going to win. It's a lot tougher than it probably should be. And that was something I wasn't used to.
And for the Celtics, banding together in the face of adversity was the major catalyst for their remarkable turnaround.
It was just a sense of trusting Coach Udoka, everybody on the coaching staff, and trusting each other. We listened. We took criticism from each other. We trusted it. We put the plan together, and we seen it working. So we stuck with it.
I've always had unwavering faith, even in the midst of situations that look like, like things are about to go in a direction that nobody wants to go in. I've always had faith that, you know, in this group, in this organization, and in myself, that we'll be all right.
And the Celtics are keeping that faith as they head into the finals as the underdogs.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy, but we got a lot of work to do, and I'm looking forward to it.
We got to play the Celtics basketball. We've been playing the whole playoffs, playing defense, and like I said, all the games we lost, we turned the ball over too much. We got to take care of the ball.
The Celtics overcoming bumps and struggles throughout their postseason run to reach the NBA Finals, and they'll look to set the tone early in Game 1 and try to steal away home court advantage from the Warriors. Inside the Chase Center, Chelsi McDonald, 7 News 19.
The Warriors have plenty of experience playing for a championship. This is their 6th trip to the finals since 2015. And even though nobody on the Celtics has been in the finals before, the Warriors have a lot of respect for their talent. The 19's Jonathan Hall with more on this.
There are games on the court.
Three-pointer on its way, and down it goes again.
And games off the court.
They're different. They're different beasts.
Wow, they actually have what it takes.
And the Golden State Warriors are proving they're pros at both. They're being nothing but nice.
To me, it's really two very experienced teams going head-to-head.
Perhaps the greatest football coach of all time, Bill Belichick, has a cardinal rule: don't diss your opponent.
A big challenge for us this week. Obviously facing, one of the top teams in the league, if not the top team.
If you do, you may well give them something to fight for, an extra reason to win. This may be as close as the Warriors will get to doing that.
We like the matchup in terms of just confidence going in, knowing that we can win, but there's obvious respect in terms of what they present as a team.
But mostly Golden State, especially the 3 top veterans who are all in their 30s, are doing everything they can to show the guys in green respect.
Their defense is absolutely incredible. They have a good offense, and more importantly on offense, they have a guy. Jason Tatum is one of them guys. When you have that, you always have a chance of winning.
And the Celtics, young stars like Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, with veteran leaders like Al Horford on the court, are following suit. Be nice, then bring it on the court.
We're playing a team that's been there, done it before, and if we expect to win, we got to come with our A game.
And, of course, the Celtics will also be looking for leadership from their real leader, their head coach, Ime Udoka, as they go for that 18th banner. At the Garden, Jonathan Hall, 7 News 19.
More coverage of the Celtics' chase for the championship still ahead. Coming up, a Celtics fan possibly calling the shot, what he's saying about the championship tattoo he got earlier in the season. And stay with the news station for all the latest on the Celtics chasing the championship. Sports director Joe Amorosino and Chelsi McDonald will continue their reports from San Francisco right here on the news station.
Also from the night team, a little teacher in trouble. He's accused of sending an inappropriate photo to a teenager. The night team's Aisha Mbowe is live in Tewksbury with that story.
And Ryan, I spoke with a parent off camera. She did not want to show her face or anything, but she says she is pretty disgusted hearing about this. She says her 6th grader spends a lot of time with this teacher. Of course, this investigation is still going on, but right now we know 34-year-old Jared Palmer is accused of sending a 16-year-old a partially nude picture on Snapchat. Investigators say he did it through the social media app. Palmer is a middle school teacher for Lowell Public Schools, and according to the district attorney's office, the teen's parent reported this to Tewksbury police. The 16-year-old took a screenshot of the image and, according to police, told his parents all about it. Now, in a statement from the Middlesex District Attorney, Marian Ryan, it writes, quote, "We need to remind our young people that if something is happening online that is making them uncomfortable, feels inappropriate, or in this case, illegal, they need to immediately report it to a trusted adult." Now, we know that Palmer was arraigned in a Lowell District County courtroom today, and he was released, but he was ordered to stay away from the victim. For now, reporting live from Tewksbury tonight, Aisha Mbowe, 7 News 19.
A man found guilty in the case of a Boston woman who was kidnapped outside of a Boston bar and then killed. The victim's family emotional after that verdict was read today. The night team's Dan Hausle has more.
Jazzy Correa's relatives still feeling the emotional release they let out in court when the 23-year-old Boston woman's killer was found guilty.
Well, we just stand up and screaming because we were waiting for that.
Lewis Coleman found guilty on a federal charge of kidnapping and murder.
As a father,
Jazzy's father called the jury's decision correct and just.
This individual now is a criminal.
Não tem direito estar na sociedade.
He doesn't have the right to be in the society.
Para mim, isso é satisfatório.
This is satisfactory to me.
Prosecutors made extensive use of videos that showed Jesse meeting Coleman outside of a Boston bar on a cold February night 3 years ago and accepting his offer of a ride. They showed video of Coleman carrying Jesse's lifeless body from his car to his apartment in Providence hours later. Then days of video showing Coleman apparently cleaning up that apartment before police stopped him and found Jesse's body in a suitcase in the trunk of his car. Prosecutors say, like in the Boston Marathon bombing trial, the many videos helped them tell their story.
Picture's worth 1,000 words. I mean, the videos allowed us to tell the story in real time to the jury.
Coleman's lawyers argued that, yes, he had killed Jazzy in a fight in his car, but that she was the aggressor. They say Coleman never went to police because he had a prior bad experience and feared what would happen to a black man in America coming forward like that.
You can imagine what he thought would happen if he went to the police and said, oh, by the way, I have a dead body in my car.
7 News legal analyst Tom Hoops says Coleman's defense version of events never had much of a chance.
Sometimes I call these helmet cases. When you're a defense lawyer, you got to put a helmet on and do the best you can. I think that's all that defense lawyer was trying to do, is do the best he could.
Jesse's brother says he never believed Coleman's story, but has mixed feelings now that Coleman's been found guilty.
For what he did, I'm not going to be happy anymore. I'm going to think about my sister like every day because the one sister I got. So, yes, I'm happy a little bit because I was waiting for that justice.
The jury deliberated about 4 hours today before coming up with their verdict, but that was after 4 hours of deliberations. Yesterday, it had to be tossed out because one of the jurors had been doing her own online research. She was tossed off the jury, and the last alternate available was brought in to help make the decision. We're outside federal court in South Boston. Dan Hausle, 7 News Night Team.
There is more news tonight. A legal win for Johnny Depp in his defamation lawsuit against his ex-wife, Amber Heard. She's ordered to pay him $15 million, but he must actually pay her, too.
All right.
After nearly 14 hours of deliberation, a jury finding both Johnny Depp and Amber Heard liable for defamation.
As against Amber Heard, we, the jury, award compensatory damages in the amount of $10 million. Do you find that Ms. Heard has proven all the elements of defamation? Answer, yes. The verdict leaving Heard visibly upset. Depp was not inside the courtroom, but was later seen shaking hands with fans in England. The jury awarding Depp more than $10 million in damages and $2 million to Heard. Depp's legal team satisfied with the outcome.
Today's verdict confirms what we have said from the beginning, that the claims against Johnny Depp are defamatory and unsupported by any evidence. At the center of the trial, abuse allegations Heard made back in 2018 in a Washington Post op-ed. Though she never named Depp in the article, he sued his ex-wife for defamation, claiming in the $50 million suit that his career suffered as a result. Heard countersued Depp for $100 million. Following the verdict, Heard released a statement saying she's heartbroken, adding, "I'm even more disappointed with what this verdict means for other women. It is a setback. It sets back the clock to a time when a woman who spoke up and spoke out could be publicly shamed and humiliated. It sets back the idea that violence against women is to be taken seriously." Depp also reacting, saying, "From the very beginning, the goal of bringing the case was to reveal the truth regardless of the outcome. Speaking the truth was something that I owed to my children and to all those who have remained steadfast in their support of me. I feel at peace knowing I have finally accomplished that." The trial spanned 7 weeks with more than 100 hours of testimony.
Also on 7, a serious crash shutting down 93 in Quincy. A school bus van flipping on 93 North this afternoon, causing massive damage and a broken windshield. We're told 2 other vehicles were also involved in this crash. No injuries were reported, and the cause is still under investigation.
Hackers, sponsored by the Iranian government, tried to conduct one of the most despicable cyber attacks I've ever seen right here in Boston.
The FBI director says Boston Children's Hospital was targeted by hackers. Leaders say the cyber attack came from Iran, and the threat of attacks from around the world is increasing. The Night Team's Victoria Price live in Boston with that story tonight.
And Ryan, this is not the first time the hospital has faced a cyber attack. It was hacked back in 2014, and it was after that attack that Boston Children's and the FBI forged a working relationship that is now credited with shutting down this attack before any damage could be done.
one of the most despicable cyber attacks I've ever seen right here in Boston.
A cyber attack targeting sick children. FBI Director Christopher Wray mincing no words as his agency released new details Wednesday about that attack on Boston Children's Hospital.
Our folks got the hospital's team the information they needed to stop the danger right away, and we were able to help them ID and then mitigate the threat.
The FBI says hackers sponsored by the Iranian government tried to hack into the hospital's computer network last June. Luckily, their cyber squad shut it down before any damage was done. The FBI still doesn't know what they were trying to accomplish.
It's hard to speculate what could have occurred, but whenever you're looking at an advanced persistence threat being leveraged against any institution's networks, you're looking at the potential for a network to be shut down or greatly affected in a way that could significantly hit up against continuity of operations.
No patient information was compromised, but the FBI says this highlights the threat of cyber attacks from foreign governments like Iran and China.
You look at the potential victim here being Boston Children's Hospital. It was truly a reprehensible attempt at an attack when you look at what could have occurred if those systems were actually shut down.
And a spokesperson for Boston Children says they are thankful tonight for the FBI working so closely with their staff to keep their network, their information, and most importantly, their patients safe. We are live in Boston tonight. Victoria Price, 7 News 19.
Student loans canceled for a now defunct chain of for-profit colleges. The Biden administration announcing those students who attended any Corinthian college will automatically have their federal student loans canceled. This will impact hundreds of thousands of students, totaling $5.8 billion. In 2015, the college's corporation shut down due to fraud. The Obama administration had previously promised loan forgiveness.
Another emergency flight booked to bring badly needed baby formula here to the U.S. President Biden today announced a third cargo flight will carry baby formula from the U.K. The series of flights necessary because of massive production problems at a plant here in the U.S. Almost 5 million bottles of formula will be flown to the U.S. during the next 3 weeks.
Still to come from the night team, breaking her silence. It was the slap seen around the world, and now Jada Pinkett Smith is weighing in on her husband's confrontation with comedian Chris Rock.
Then graduates in Malden surprised with scholarships. The big announcement impacting all seniors headed to college.
Also ahead tonight, the unexpected audience for a man playing a Lumineers song on a public piano in Boston.
Plus, the celebration for the Queen kicking off in just a few hours. How the palace is marking the start of her Platinum Jubilee.
And we
out there today. Much more of the same on the way for tomorrow. Weekend forecast in a few minutes.
And we're following breaking news. A shooting at a hospital in Tulsa, Oklahoma. 4 people are dead, up to 10 people wounded, and we know the shooter is also dead after turning the gun on himself. 7 News at 9 o'clock. We'll be right back.
Springtime is a weather wild card.
Record warmth possible.
A few spotty showers.
There are 4 seasons in New England, but only one weather team you can count on. The 7 Weather Team, only on the news station.
Jada Pinkett Smith talking about her husband, Will Smith, slapping Chris Rock on stage during the Oscars.
And Pinkett Smith also talking about the condition that was at the center of the joke that led to that slap.
Jada Pinkett Smith addressing that Oscar slap for the first time during her Facebook watch show, Red Table Talk. The actress saying, quote, about Oscar night, my deepest hope is that these 2 intelligent, capable men have an opportunity to heal, talk this out, and reconcile. The state of the world today, we need them both, and we all actually need one another more than ever. Will Smith slapped comedian Chris Rock after the Oscars host made a joke about her bald head during the ceremony. Wednesday's episode centered on alopecia areata, the hair loss disorder that affects Pinkett Smith. While discussing her condition, Pinkett Smith said she had gotten support from around the world. She said, quote, considering what I've been through with my own health and what happened at the Oscars, thousands have reached out to me with their stories. During the episode, Pinkett Smith also spoke with guests who are impacted by alopecia. As for her relationship with Smith, Pinkett Smith said, Will and I are continuing to do what we have done for the last 28 years, and that's keep figuring out this thing called life together.
And Pinkett Smith says despite the controversy, she was glad to use this opportunity to shine a light on people living with alopecia.
Cloudy skies tomorrow morning. A few peaks of sun by the afternoon hours. Weekend forecast coming up after the break.
7 News is brought to you in part by BuyAToyota.com.
school seniors in Malden celebrating an announcement from the mayor of the city, surprising each student with a scholarship as they get ready to head off to college. The 19's Lisa Gresci live for us in Malden with more on the story tonight. Lisa.
The mayor of Malden pulling off the ultimate surprise during what is usually a by-the-book scholarship ceremony.
I would now like to take a moment to go off script by announcing another special scholarship.
Little did the crowd know the last scholarship of the night wasn't going to just one lucky senior.
This $1,000 scholarship will go to every single Malden graduating senior going on to attend college.
A real Oprah moment.
You get money, you get money, you get money. Everyone gets money.
For seniors still feeling the shock of it all today.
When he said that, I was like, dang, because $1,000 is like a lot of money. And like I think like everyone's really grateful for it.
The $1,000 will be going to any college-bound senior living in Malden, no matter which high school they go to.
There's so many students in the class. I think like 400, so that's like $400,000. Like, that's insane.
The mayor says the money that'll add up to $400,000 to $500,000, give or take, is leftover funding from the American Rescue Plan Act.
It was for anything COVID related. Once we knew that we had, a pool of funds that had yet to be committed, this is what our team thought made the most sense to do with it.
And for a class that's lived and learned through this unprecedented pandemic.
And this is something that we wanted to do to thank them for hanging in there with us.
The seniors have a thank you of their own for the mayor and the rest of those behind this decision, because $1,000 will go a long way, especially as they enter this new chapter.
I'd just like to thank the mayor, considering I myself, I don't really come from a high-income household, so paying for college is probably one of the hardest things to do. Any amount of money is helpful.
And next up, the city will be working on distributing each of these checks to the class of 2022, the very lucky class of 2022. That is being worked on right now. Reporting live in Malden, Lisa Gresci, 7 News 19.
What a special moment, and congratulations to all the graduates.
Yes.
Pretty amazing.
Big congratulations and great idea on everyone's part there. That's awesome. All right, let's talk about what's going on outside. We've got the first of the month here of June. Didn't really look like summer.
Yeah, a little rain moving through, and then the cloudy day, JR, but hopefully some improvements coming.
Yeah, we do. We do have improvements on the way, and, that old saying, the June gloom, and today was that day. So I do think we're going to have clouds overnight tonight and through the first half of tomorrow. Probably a good idea to have the rain gear ready to go early tomorrow morning, but after 8 o'clock, if you're not out the front door until after 8 a.m., I don't think you need the rain gear. So the chance of rain tomorrow, it's isolated, and it's before 8 o'clock. Clouds will linger. There will be some sun in the afternoon, and coolest conditions are in play yet again along the coastline. Radar right now is quiet around the metro. There are some scattered showers off to our west. These are not heading due east. They're actually heading more to the southeast toward Hartford and Waterbury and down toward Groton, Connecticut. Farther north up toward the Capital District of Eastern New York, Albany, Schenectady, Troy, some scattered showers, and that's out toward the New York State Thruway. These also headed off to the southeast. So I do think we'll have the risk of a few showers overnight tonight and very early tomorrow morning. But you notice the motion of the rain tonight. It's more directed southeast versus east. So that's why I don't think we'll have scattered showers on the way like we saw last night. How much rain did we pick up? Not much. Most towns about a tenth of an inch of rain or less. Plymouth did not have that much rain. Plymouth only had about a tenth of an inch of rain. Provincetown, 2/10 of an inch of rain. It would have been nice, though, if we had 1 to 2 inches of rain, widespread soaking rain, but that was not in the cards, and I don't think that is in the cards overnight tonight. You go back to the 1st of April, and it has been very dry for the month of April and May, so getting a good soaking would have been good and carry us a long way, but not the case. Although there is more rain in the forecast late tomorrow night and into Friday morning. Temps out there now with all the clouds, rather uniform, mid-50s. The city at 56, Bedford 56 as well, Nashua at 55. So tomorrow we're in between areas of low pressure, which are responsible for the showers. There's the next one in the pipeline way out there. So in that location tomorrow afternoon, I think that's too far away to bring us rain. The problem, though, is that the low pressure tonight, as it's moving away from us, leaves a trail of clouds all the way back into eastern New England. Normally, when you're in between weather systems, you have sunshine, but that won't be the case tomorrow. There will be a little sun in the afternoon, but not wall-to-wall sun. So your futurecast, here you are at 5 o'clock tomorrow morning. You can see the bulk of the showers moving out to sea, but there are a couple of stragglers left behind. And then as we get to 8 a.m., they are pressing off the South Shore, working across Cape Cod Bay. But for the rest of us, it's already out. So that's why I think before 8 a.m., good idea to have the rain gear, just in case you'll need it until 8 a.m. And then I think after that time, you won't need it. You'll have a lot of clouds, but outdoor activities tomorrow can get accomplished unless you're looking to do some sun tanning. Then tomorrow's not the day for you. Temps tomorrow morning around 60 as we go through the afternoon hours. The numbers at the coastline low to mid 60s, including Boston. And then farther inland with even a little bit of sunshine, the temps should get close to 70 degrees. Worcester 71 and Jaffrey at 72. So there's tomorrow. Friday, there's that second low pressure bringing scattered showers. It's a higher chance of rain compared to tomorrow. And I do think the showers will wind down late in the day, perhaps clearing in time for Friday evening. And if not, well, we'll clear out Friday night. And the weekend right now looks outstanding. Mostly sunny skies both days, low humidity, comfortable weather for sleeping. And to be outside as well with temperatures Saturday and Sunday afternoon into the mid 70s, a little bit cooler at the beaches.
And out of the Celtics chase for the championship, one Celtics fan has what could be the team's lucky charm. Months ago, he got a tattoo with the Celtics 2022 championship banner. The 18-year-old high school senior is confident heading to the finals, and our team Steve Cooper has his story.
I have it on today. There you go.
Wearing Celtics pride literally etched in his arm already, declaring the Green Machine NBA champions for 2022, Jack Bienvenu certainly seems to be gaining no shortage of attention with the countdown on to Game 1 out in San Fran Thursday night.
Feel pretty good. I mean, obviously some nerves going into it. Golden State's a great team, but we're keeping the good vibes flowing, you know, very confident. I think we present the best matchup to play against Golden State.
The 18-year-old who graduates from Cape Cod Tech High this weekend admits he couldn't watch the final seconds of Game 7 in Miami Sunday night when the Heat almost pulled it out.
When Jimmy Butler put that shot up, I didn't look. I put my head down and I just listened to see what the announcer said. So I was very nervous.
Cool, calm, and covered with a whole lot of confidence, Bienvenu says while others may be wondering what he plans to do with his arm if the Warriors win the series, well, it's not on his radar screen at the moment.
If they lose, I'll think about it, but haven't lost quite yet, so I haven't really given it much thought.
The teenager got the banner tattoo plastered across his arm back in March with a sneaking suspicion that this team was going all the way.
I've had a gut feeling, and so far that gut feeling's looking pretty good.
All right, the Cape Cod teen just 4 wins away now from rolling up his sleeve and showing off his championship banner on his arm. From the Garden, Steve Cooper, 7 News Night Team.
Coming up here at 9 o'clock, a sweet surprise for one street musician, the big name in music that caught a pianist playing his song.
And recognizing a royal, the 4-day celebration to ring in Queen Elizabeth's Platinum Jubilee.
Kim Casey and Adam Williams, only on the news station.
A local man's smart TV stopped connecting to the internet, so he took it in to get repaired.
He kept waiting for the fix to be made, but he says he kept getting excuses. So he reached out to Solve at 7. Here's Brandon Gunnoe.
For months, Tom sat in his favorite chair where he loves to watch TV, but all he saw was this white wall.
It was very frustrating.
Back in January, his TV stopped connecting to Wi-Fi.
I couldn't watch the movies that I wanted to watch.
He brought it to a repair shop, hoping for a fast fix. But he says every time he called for an update, it seemed like the job was on pause.
It was one excuse after another.
Tired of watching nothing, he wanted to see if Solve at 7 could help.
I wasn't able to watch Channel 7 on the big screen.
We called the shop and were told supply chain and medical issues were causing the delay. But soon after, Tom got his TV. He's now watching the movies he missed and, of course, his favorite news station.
I would recommend to any person who has a problem that they can't resolve to reach out, contact Solve at 7 and ask for assistance. They certainly helped me.
Trying to get answers and getting static instead? We can help. Send an email to solve7@WHDH.com or give us a call at 617-367-7777. In the newsroom, I'm Brandon Gunnoe, 7 News.
Coming up next in 7 Sports, we are live in San Francisco at the Chase Center where the Celtics are managing every minute leading up to tomorrow night's Game 1 of the NBA Finals. With so many first-timers on the Celtics, we'll hear how they're doing it. That's next.
Get ready for the Jordan's Furniture Sports Zone.
June is Pride Month, and the city of Boston is kicking it off with a celebration. There were speakers and live performances, and Mayor Michelle Wu was speaking at today's event. She addressed restrictive laws impacting the LGBTQ community across the United States.
Of course, the root of this is well known to us: fear, misinformation, hate that we are challenging every day in the city of Boston. And we are pushing to be even further ahead of that.
Mayor Wu also announcing a new executive directive for the inaugural Office of LGBTQ+ Advancement. Quincy Roberts will hold the position.
And now, time for 7 Sports with Joe Amorosino.
We are coming to you live from San Francisco on the eve of the NBA Finals, with the Celtics soaking it all in and savoring their first taste of basketball's biggest stage, while also knowing they're in for their toughest challenge of this season. Now, before they can gear up for Game 1, they have to manage the run-up to all of this, and that includes today's media day with no player on the roster who has seen action in the NBA Finals. And while it's not quite the same type of atmosphere as Super Bowl week, Jason Tatum is learning that the regular season and the Eastern Conference playoffs are nothing compared to this.
No, it definitely does feel different, right? It's a lot more media, a lot more obligations. I'm sure, basketball is still basketball, but, all the things leading up to it, it's unlike anything else.
I think once you get out of the initial media circus and the intensity and how everything is much more exaggerated, obviously it's not much different when you get on the court.
And once the ball's in the air tomorrow night in Game 1, it's all about managing one of the best collections of shooters on one team that we've seen in a long time. The Warriors will stress the Celtics defense in ways the Nets, the Bucks, and the Heat can only dream of, and Grant Williams knows it.
This team, I feel like, has that physical nature, but they're a lot more able to make shots. They're a lot more movement, a lot more chasing. And I feel like our team's built for that. We're built for not only that, but also the physical nature. So chasing those guys like Steph, Clay, Jordan, you have to take priority and understand what you want to take away from them, but also what you want to accomplish as a defense.
Play of the day is brought to you by Jordan's Furniture.
Braves and Diamondbacks, Josh Rojas leading off the 8th inning with a sinking liner to center. Michael Harris, the second, comes charging in, dives and gets it. Just his 5th career Major League game, but looking like an old pro with the leather. Harris coming up with our play of the day. So here we go with the NBA Finals beginning tomorrow night with Game 1 here in San Francisco. Get ready for some late nights. These are 9 o'clock starts on all the weekdays, 8 o'clock on Sundays. Reporting live in San Francisco, Joe Amorosino, 7 Sports.
A man getting quite the surprise while playing a public piano here in Boston. You may recognize that tune as Ophelia from the Lumineers. Well, one of the band's members caught the performance of his own song.
This is his song. I was like, this looks like the guy from the Lumineers. You got What's up, man? Jeremiah.
The Lumineers are in town for concerts in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. Co-founder of the Lumineers, Jeremiah Freites, posted the video to his Instagram. He said it was great playing with that man. They also offered him tickets to their show in Mansfield. What are the chances of that, right?
I don't know. Some cool things happen around Boston,
right?
Don't they?
Meant to be, right?
I love when I hear people playing those public pianos, too. It's really cool. All right, we got through June 1st.
Yeah.
Just a socked-in kind of day.
Yeah, you got to move on, right?
Yeah.
Hopefully there's some sunnier days coming up for us here, JR.
Yeah, there is. I mean, this is not June 2009, even though the first day of June 2022 was quite cloudy and gloomy. Tomorrow we'll start with clouds, and there actually could be a shower before 8 a.m. I think otherwise we'll just have a lot of clouds. Now, some of you will see a little sun, but others are going to have another overcast day. It's tough to know exactly where these holes in the overcast will develop tonight, but you know, it's possible. And inland locations, low 70s. This is your number out in the Worcester Hills, Metro West. And then coastal locations, city of Boston, north and south shore. Here's your number, 62. East wind around 4 to 6 miles per hour. And then as we get to Friday, here comes another weather system. We'll have a mostly cloudy day on Friday, scattered showers. They may try to taper off after 2 o'clock Friday afternoon. And by Friday evening, it might be okay. You know, outside dining Friday evening should be all right. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Temps in the mid-60s. And the time is good because we do need the rain, but nobody wants it on a weekend. So there you go, Saturday. Mostly sunny skies. Looks great. Temps on Saturday and Sunday, for that matter, into the mid-70s. Golfers forecast a few scattered showers Friday morning. If you have afternoon tee times, I would keep them. Don't cancel them. And then Saturday and Sunday, lots of sunshine. A bit of a breeze Saturday afternoon. Temps on Saturday and Sunday, mid-70s.
Celebration set to get underway tomorrow for the Queen's Platinum Jubilee. An official portrait of Queen Elizabeth has been released to mark her 70 years on the throne. She is the first English monarch to hit this milestone. The 4-day celebration will feature dancing, a parade, a star-studded concert, including singers Elton John and Diana Ross. More than 20,000 people are expected to attend the concert, which will be held right outside of the palace. And loyal followers are already lining up for the festivities.
She's the best role model in the world, and I mean that. You know, she has reigned for 70 years and has never stepped 1 foot wrong.
3 of the Queen's children, Prince William and Kate Middleton, and Prince Harry and Meghan Markle will all be taking part in the scheduled events. And we'll have continuing coverage of the Queen's Platinum Jubilee celebration starting tomorrow morning. You can tune into 7 News Today in New England. They get started bright and early at 4:30 a.m. and they stay on straight through 10.
Next up here from the night team, a new look for a historic monument, the special ceremony on Boston Common.
Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Reiner, only on the news station.
A historic memorial in Boston restored. The Shaw Memorial returned to its former glory after a 3-year restoration. It honors one of the first all-black regiments during the Civil War.
A special ceremony was held today to rededicate the monument. The night team's Adam Williams has more.
A history-making group of Civil War heroes honored Wednesday on Beacon Hill, local leaders gathering to rededicate the Shaw Memorial.
The many in Boston's history who fought bravely, who set the standard for Massachusetts and our Commonwealth being a leading light and beacon for centuries, and also who keep pushing to make sure that the names, the places, the memorials continue to better reflect the full story of our Commonwealth and our city.
The bronze relief sculpture on the edge of Boston Common commemorates members of the Massachusetts 54th Infantry Regiment, one of the first regiments made up of all volunteer black soldiers.
Black heroes who marched through before traveling south to battle for their freedom in May of 1863, a mere 159 years ago. I am so grateful to walk on the reverberation of their lineage.
Boston's Youth Poet Laureate, one of the many who turned out to honor the 54th and the memorial, the sculpture is named for regiment leader Colonel Robert Gould Shaw. It was created back in 1884, and after a recent 3-year, $3 million restoration, the memorial is back to its original glory. Reenactors also on hand for the ceremony, as well as noted anti-racist scholar Dr. Ibram X. Kendi, whose remarks drove home just how significant the Shaw Memorial is.
This memorial is a testament to the fact that we did the impossible, abolished slavery. And it is also a testament to the fact that we can do the impossible again, abolish racism.
Today's rededication ceremony was hosted by several groups, including the National Park Service and the Museum of African American History. In the newsroom, I'm Adam Williams, 7 News Night Team.
We have breaking news from the MBTA. Green Line service is suspended between Park Street and Union Square due to a crash. The T says it involves 2 Green Line trains near Government Center, and they're now advising people to seek alternate downtown service. We do have a crew headed to the scene, and we'll have more coming up for you at the top of the hour.
And the night team will be right back. And that's all the time for 7 News at 9 o'clock. I'm Ryan Schulteis.
And I'm Jadiann Thompson. 7 News at 10 o'clock with Kim and Adams next.